Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Monday Blitz, your number one sports talk show on TV 47. I am Katela Maisi, and we're going to talk about the World Cup, CECAFA, Harambee Starlets, under 17. EPL is coming back, and of course, you always know I'm not alone. I am joined by Twiga himself, Surambaya Safi, Papa Fred Arocho. Karibu sana, Arocho.
Thank you very much.
Kofiti.
Good morning. I'm so happy that I'm here.
And of course the beautiful Miss Annette Washira alikuwa amepotea sana. Karibu.
Kwanza hata niseme congratulations to Arsenal. I disappeared. But congratulations to them.
Uko poa lakini?
Niko fiti kabisa.
We saw you uko gallivanting, Kwale, nini, but finally umerudi.
Imagine nilienda Kwale wakapi.
Wanasema
this world no balance.
Yeah, papa. Police walikudisappoint sana.
Man, but it is.
You are in Kwale?
Yes, I was in Kwale.
Hi. You didn't see her? She was in Kwale. Alikuwa anasumbua sana huko. And George Kaisi, karibu sana.
Shukrani
uko
sana
mzima?
Katela. Niko mzima kabisa.
Unakaa vizuri. Umechangamka asubuhi.
Manze.
In Luo we say jasuti.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here.
Okay.
To be around mwanaspoti hapa and papa mwenyewe. Someone nimegrow nikimsikiza. So leo nimefurahia nimefika hapa kumuona and also to get something from him and to discuss sports.
Apo sawa kabisa. And of course, to our viewers back at home, remember you can be part of this discussion by talking to us on our WhatsApp number 0793267279, and we can also interact on our social media. It's TV47 Kenya and TV47 Digital on X. Now, we have a question of the day today, and it's: are you enjoying the FIFA World Cup 2026? And what is your best moment? All right, I'll repeat the question. Are you enjoying the FIFA World Cup 2026? And what is your best moments? Remember when the World Cup was starting, kulikuwa na mambo mengi sana. A lot of people said it will be one of the most boring World Cup because of the restrictions, because of some players who are being denied visas, some were being denied entries into some other countries. But we can see tunaona World Cup inaendelea vizuri. Let me start with my guess here. Wacha nianze na wewe Rocho. Are you enjoying the FIFA World Cup, and which is your best moment?
Yes, my best moment is the crowd. Soccer is a game that needs the crowd, and so far we've seen massive crowd. It's slightly different with what we had in '94, where the United States for the first time hosted the World Cup. So it's quite impressive. I'm so impressed. The only person who is missing is me. And unfortunately, my trip to Uganda made sure that I cannot travel. But I'm so happy that we are seeing fans streaming into the stadium. The stadiums are full. And it just describes the game. The game is about bringing us together. And that's precisely what is happening in the US, in Canada, and of course, in Mexico.
Annette Washira, when do you enjoy? You love football?
I mean, enjoy Maze. I think I was one of the people who was really fighting against the 48 team rule. Like, these teams mingi hatutalala, and also the timing. But one of the things I'm really enjoying is how unexpected the results are. I mean, Cape Verde drawing Spain, Belgium drawing Egypt. So African teams are really surprising us. Look at the performance Cote d'Ivoire had against Germany, a Germany that beat Curaçao 7. So I like that it is almost an even playing field. I know, of course, there are some teams that have really disappointed us in the likes of Tunisia. 9 goals in 2 games. But other than that, I think the entertainment value, even if you look at the stadiums in the US, these guys lied to us.
And what has been your best moment so far?
My best moment was Spain-Cape Verde. That was one of, I think, the matches that I really... I had predicted they were going to be beaten 3-0. But seeing the Cape Verde keeper, as well, Vozinha, being at 40 years old, and the kind of saves he was making, I think that for me changed the dynamic, because Cape Verde could actually, in their first World Cup, they could qualify for the knockout. So in that game, I really saw a team that was unified, and also realizing that this World Cup is not about individual talents. The likes of Belgium are really struggling. So for this tournament, I think Cape Verde is one of the teams that I've really enjoyed watching.
George Kaisi,
Yeah.
Are you enjoying the World Cup?
I'm enjoying a lot from this year's World Cup. First of all, napenda sana ile script ya Cape Verde pale. They're writing a very good story from the start of the tournament. So far, the draw against the previous match, their first game also, they're writing a very good story. And whatever we are seeing from them, I really hope they're gonna go very far. Maybe we can see them just perform the same way like Morocco, but I'm falling in love so much with the Cape Verde performance. Also, there are so many players who we never knew, but this tournament, they have gotten the chance to show the world what they've got. There is a German player, the super sub, who came in and carried the team. He has come to show the world, I'm not famous, I'm not that star player, but I have what it takes to go all the way and help my team.
Now, during this World Cup 2026, let's talk about some of the best moments, the fans turn up, of which Arocho has talked about. We all see how the stadiums are full, except some of the fans. But at the host nation, we can see if their teams are playing, the stadiums are very full. And of course, we can discuss some of the individual performance of some of the players, because we saw Cote d'Ivoire when Ahmad gave them a win in the last minute. We also Vozinha, as Annette has talked about. Let's talk about this individual performance, the weather. Rajua, you see players wanacheza manze, wengine it's as if they are melting. Wanamwaga maji, kumwaga maji, all right? Arocho, I'll start off with you.
Well, currently, the weather within that region is quite hot. USA is a region where we have the extremes. When it's hot, it's way too hot, and when it's cold, it's damn cold, the way they refer to it. And I think that's the reason why the World Cup came around this time, more so in that region. You remember when we were in Qatar in the previous edition, the time was adjusted towards December. So what FIFA does, it makes sure that you guys can enjoy the tournament. But for the players, you've realized that it's mandatory this time around to have the cooling moments, which they call the hydration moments. This is basically to help the players deal with the extreme heat that is currently being experienced within that region, that is the USA, Mexico, and of course in Canada. For me, it destroys the flow of the game. The more you stop in soccer, the more you bring down the momentum, and at times it even acts as an advantage to teams who are losing. So it's a catch-22 when you have at least 3 or 4 minutes when the game is stopped, so that guys can have their drink. But also it helps for teams who are down, as I said earlier. They can have moments to even talk and discuss where they're not performing well. Coming back to your second point, individual players, I'm so happy that we are demystifying this myth that soccer is about individuals. I always believe that soccer is about teamwork, and the team that is going to employ that in this tournament is going to progress. And that's why you've seen the likes of Cape Verde, a team that it's their very first time in this tournament. We are doing the 23rd edition of the tournament. It started way in 1930. And you can see they picked a very famous draw last night. Uruguay is not any easy team. This is a team that has won the World Cup twice. So basically, we are seeing emergence of teams in the tournament. And once again, it's describing what I normally say on this show, that soccer is not an event. It is a process. And the difference between the top teams and the teams that are in the lower cadre within the FIFA ranking is slightly the margin is becoming very slim each time. There's no big teams at the moment, and we are not seeing the many goals that we used to see in the initial World Cup, where we had 6 or 8 goals in a match. So it shows that any team can get results, and that's precisely what the African teams are doing.
Ms. Washira, what's your take on that? Let's talk about the best moments in the World Cup, fans turn up, the weather, individual performance. We also what Adingra did. But anyway.
Damn, Adingra actually ruined my week. So definitely this World Cup is a good opportunity for scouting and signing, especially for Premier League teams. I mean, Man City was in the market for Elliot Anderson, 150 million. So, and they're very good talents. Look at the Egyptian 18-year-old called Bouadi, currently playing in Lille. So I think this is a very good opportunity. There are so many players that we're seeing. Look at super sub Lukaku. Who would have thought that Lukaku would change the trajectory of the Belgium game, the first game? Look at other players like the Iranian goalkeeper, who was man of the match. 10 saves in a match. It's ridiculous. As well, we've mentioned Vozinha being the difference between between Spain and Cape Verde. And I think the World Cup, of course, doesn't cease to surprise us. We are seeing so many young, talented players coming back up. We're seeing Mo Salah re-establishing his dominance. He's saying that he's still the prince in Egypt. I mean, yesterday they put up a very good performance, coming back from a 1-0 loss to a 3-1 win in the second half. So I think in terms of football, the World Cup is delivering. In terms of the fans, I have seen almost all the stadiums in all the matches that I've watched are almost 100% full. And it's very nice. Look at Cape Verde, 150,000 fans. Wanaweza jaza stadium peke yao as a country. So it is it is very nice to see these small moments. And of course, some of the disappointing moments for me is Iran. Iran walicheza jana na walikuwa kwa ndege immediately after the game. So those are some of the things that I look at and I'm like, is it a must? We also saw the likes of Partey being denied visas to enter Canada. We've seen Vozinha, actually the mom was brought by the federation after he complained about how he could not secure a visa for the family. So I think this is the most dramatic World Cup I've ever seen. It has the most drama, the best moments. There's so many celebrities as well that are attending. It was also so nice to see the Brazil, the heritage. All of the World Cup winners with Brazil were in attendance in the Brazil versus Haiti match. It was very nice to see Ronaldinho also were there. So it's a very nice experience, especially for us watching from home. Tunaona Travis Scott pale akisupport Vinicius Jr. Yeah, and also seeing some teams. Look at Portugal's performance, one of the more disappointing performance of the tournament. Look at Ronaldo and Bruno. Look at what is happening online. There's also a lot of online buzz. Bruno Fernandes anasema hii, João Neves anasema hii. So this World Cup, for entertainment value, congratulations. Infantino made to entertain.
Kaesi, let's talk about these the moments at this World Cup and the individual performance.
For me, kuna so many moments witnessed in the World Cup. First of all, there is the thing of star players. There's some star players we really so much to wish kuona kwa the big stage, but this tournament they are nowhere to be seen. Then we are seeing that aspect of the players ambao sio key players like Dennis Undav pale kwa timu ya Germany, Samaval pale Netherlands. There's so many players who have shown the world if we are given a chance, we also have so much to prove. And for the moments in the World Cup, there is a lot of controversies here and there. The Iran issue, how they're being treated. They're being treated like you're not supposed to be here, and that is not something we were so much wishing to see in a World Cup tournament. And we hope going forward, there are going to be some changes maybe in how some teams are being treated, some players are being treated, and we are hoping in the remaining matches we're going to see a very different kind of World Cup tournament, because in the beginning there's been this say this is maybe the most boring World Cup. Going forward, we hope something is going to happen. The three host nations, especially the states, the United States, we want to see them make us love the beautiful game.
All right, now let's talk about Cape Verde in the Group H, whereby they are number 3. Currently, Spain is leading, and then followed by Uruguay. We are charting points with Cape Verde, and then followed by Saudi Arabia. Walipigwa vizuri 4-0 yesterday night. Now, Cape Verde, they are yet to lose a match. I remember when they were playing Spain, the man of the match, Vozinha, did that thing. And then yesterday, they drew with Uruguay. Let's talk about this team. It becomes actually the first team from CAF to do so, all right? It hasn't lost a match. It is unbeaten in Group H. And if you look at that group, a team like Spain, who thought that Cape Verde could have drawn Spain? Arocho, let's talk about Cape Verde making this statement as a team.
Well, Cape Verde is a description of consistency. When you are consistent in anything, you'll succeed. The last time we had an encounter as Harambee Stars against Cape Verde, you saw what happened. We had a very terrible trip to Cape Verde, and of course we lost. But before that, we were way on top of Cape Verde. I remember when Dennis Oliech was emerging, he emerged through Cape Verde. The goal that he scored that enabled Kenya to play in the AFCON. So for me, it should be a case study for countries like Kenya. For the guys who went to Cape Verde, the report they brought was Cape Verde is just like an ordinary country. Its economy is not that big compared to countries like Kenya, and yet you're seeing what they are doing. Their performance in the qualification was tremendous. Now, coming back to yesterday's match, I was so impressed that they had 4 shots on goal. In an entire match, a team of that stature having 4 shots direct onto the opponent's goal is a very big statement for me. It's a big statement because they are playing teams that have also qualified so well within their region. So I hope that they are going to qualify. I believe they're going to beat Saudi Arabia in the last match, though Saudi Arabia is not also a pushover. It's a team that played so well regardless of the fact that they lost.
Yeah.
I was so impressed with the way they started their match, though they fizzled out towards the end of the match. It might not be a very easy match for Cape Verde, but ultimately I believe Cape Verde is going to qualify. I'm seeing them to be the first country from Africa to make it into the next stage, and of course proceed even to the quarter or semi-finals of the World Cup. It's a team that needs to be emulated. If Kenya needs to perform well in the subsequent matches, we need to benchmark with the likes of Cape Verde because they don't have big stars compared to the rest of African teams. The likes of Tunisia having very good players, yet they are not performing. So it's a team that we can take some lessons from as a country so that we can start preparing to qualify for such a showcase. Once again, good job, and I hope that they're going to make it to the next round. And
it also take on Cape Verde making this statement as the first African country to become unbeaten in the group stages.
I think it's a very good showing. Definitely for me as well. When we were doing the teams that will go to the round of 32, they didn't even cross my mind. I didn't even I'll qualify too. Wacha waende wa participate warudi. But definitely there's something different we're seeing in this World Cup. There's no star players. There's no mentality of individual players. If you look at even Portugal, they really struggled because they have so many star players. There's no gelling, there's no communication. Look at Belgium drawing yesterday. The concept of star players does not apply anymore. Look at Brazil in their first match. They're doing their first match against Morocco. Look at how Morocco is playing as well. So I think for Cape Verde, something that we're learning is they don't have stars. They just have, they want it. And we are seeing it clearly in all the matches they are playing. In the first match, they played Spain. They did not play an easy team. They played the Spain here to in the 2010 World Cup. So there is so much to learn and so much to see from this team. Again, as I had mentioned, population is 150,000. Imagine a country with only 150,000 people is going to qualify. I want, of course, to see their final match against Saudi Arabia. And I think in this game, they will be looking for a win, definitely, because that win will propel them to the next round successfully. And of course, being among the first teams to qualify, to be unbeaten in the World Cup, an African team, I think they're on the right track.
Some of the good news,
itakuwa tu sawa. So I think even for their own home countries, they've exceeded expectation. Getting there, some teams have played the World Cup so many years. Look at South Africa. Have they ever gone to the group stage?
South Africa mentally hawakuwa sawa. It was the one against them.
Yes.
John Kaisi, do you agree with Cape Verde?
For a team like Cape Verde, for me, they are the dark horses. They started this tournament, they faced pain. They have key players, World Cup winner. They showed the world we are capable of matching even the star players like Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo. And that game in Spain, when they faced Spain, they really had a very good setup. The first minute until the end of the whistle, they played so well, they defended so well. You are facing key opponents as team that has quality players, and that approach in that game against Spain, it was more than enough. And for them, that draw was like a win for them. Then came the game against Uruguay, two-time World Cup winner. They started the game so well, they attacked so well, they defended so well. They never gave Uruguay a chance to have the ball. And we saw the kind of goals they scored. It showed that this is a team that knows what they want. This is a team that came to the World Cup tournament having that vision, determination that we have to go all the way. We have to pull up a surprise performance. We are the underdogs. We don't have quality players. We are a very small country. Coming into the World Cup, it is our moment to shine, and indeed, they have really shined in this tournament. In the first game, we saw the goalkeeper, Vozinha, really carried the team. In the second match, the players knew, and they knew that this is our moment. Let us not rely on the goalkeeper. Let us play as a team, and that is what we saw in yesterday's match. As a team, they played so well. As a team, they defended so well, and for them, that draw was like a win, and they have the final match, and I don't see a team like Saudi Arabia getting even a point against Cape Verde. They've managed to get a draw against Spain, Uruguay, going to the final match. I know and I feel that they have what it takes to get that 3 points and to seal their qualification into the round of 32. So for me, against Saudi Arabia, they will win.
Okay. Now, still on the World Cup, let's talk about Group G, where Egypt has finally bagged their first win at the World Cup. Remember, walidraw na Belgium, and then yesterday they beat New Zealand 3. Actually, it was a comeback. Unajua, hiyo comeback from 1-0 down and then 3-1. Nilewa asubuhi. These timings, me usiku ni usiku. Now, today morning, let me say today morning, whereby walidraw. Now, their win, right now, Egypt are currently leaders in the Group G. Arocho, ebu tuonge about this, because I believe today, kuna game pia at hand. Belgium walidraw, actually after they drew na Iran, after Nathan Goy got a red card. But we as football fans, I never thought that a team like Belgium, itaweza kudraw with Iran. I really expected them at least even a 2-0 win over Iran, but Jana, one man down. I was not so impressed with the Belgian team. And then there was this save that the Iranian keeper made, of which iliwa deny kabisa na ikawafunga. Let's talk about that game, and let's talk about Egypt winning their first match.
Well, Egyptians have been very patient. This is a team that participated in the World Cup in the second edition in 1934. It is exactly 92 years later that they've picked their first win. They've been very patient. And I liked what I saw yesterday. The first match, Egypt were not that impressive, if you ask me. But what I saw yesterday was quite brilliant. Mahmoud Yani, scoring a very good goal, and he get a very good options on the flank. I was also impressed with Mohamed Salah doing so well on the other flank, and you could see how Egyptians were reacting when they lose the ball. I like the way they were inverting to make sure that they were covering their defense. It is just a classic description of a team that is coming out of the woods. I remember that it's taken them some time now to play in the World Cup, and they really struggled for a generation to come back and pick a win. once again, I commend them, and I believe that the Egyptian side might make it into the next round, though I'm not seeing them going past the second round. The caliber of players at the team, I think they also, age is also catching up with that team. You see Mohamed Salah has played for some time now, but I think, if you ask me, is in his sunset years. But kudos for the results. Kudos for the comeback. It describes the quality of players you have when you go down in such a tournament. Then the mental ability brings you back into the game. So that was positive. And for Africa, it just shows that it's possible. It's possible because, for example, the way Moroccans have played so far, it's a team that had some problems in Africa. Remember the way they played AFCON. It was not the very Morocco team that we saw in 2022 in Qatar. I was expecting them to perform well in the AFCON. They struggled, lost in the finals, and there've been a lot of issues surrounding that team. But I like the way they've come back and their performance in the World Cup. It's one of the most formidable African teams that is participating in this tournament. So once again, good job. I hope that the Pharaohs will keep the African flag flying high.
Ms. Oshira, do you agree with Rachel about Egypt?
Yes, but what I want to point out maybe is that this tournament is different. The weather conditions are different. The timing is different. So there's a lot of adjusting that is happening to the teams. I mean, Egypt drawing with Belgium was for me, was a standout performance, because everybody was expecting. I mean, looking at teams like Belgium, they have the likes of Lukaku in their ranks. They have the likes of Trossard, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne. So for me, it was not going to be a walk in the park. But for them, of course, it was disappointing that they lost a 1-0 lead in that game. But for me, that performance was, I mean, congratulations to them. And now, of course, the game Belgium versus Iran, coming from 1-0 down and coming back and scoring 3 goals in the second half with the kind of atmosphere that is there. I mean, everybody expects maybe in the first half you're playing, you're attacking more because, of course, with the climatic conditions, it's hot. So in the first half, you need to score all the goals. Then second half, as we've seen so many teams, second half, wanakuja, wanapack bus, wanatulia. But for them to push until the final minute, look at the likes of Mohamed Salah again on the score sheet. Look at, I think his name is Trezeguet on the score sheet in the final minutes of the game. So I think for Egypt, I applaud them. These teams that look easy, look at what Cape Verde had done, look at Curacao securing a draw. So for them to make sure they're consistent and to deliver results and, of course, securing their first win, I think it's very important for them. And even I definitely think that they'll be among the first teams to secure a group stage, knockout stage slot. So for me, Egypt, I mean, as long as you've secured the win, congratulations. Yeah. Because Nikubaya, look at Tunisia, 9 goals. It's not easy.
Tunisia walienda kuparticipate.
In English, yes. It's called Trezeguet.
Trezeguet. Oh.
In France,
called Trezeguet.
You say Trezeguet.
Wajo shinda nasikiza commentary na malugha mingi.
Anaitwa baby hippo. Please. Ebu sema tu.
Je parle un peu français.
Bonjour.
Unasema
Trezeguet. Yeah. Sawa, anaitwa Shira.
Nimesikia.
Trezeguet.
Nataka kusikia commentary in funny languages.
Judge Kaesi, let's talk about Egypt.
For the Egyptian, that win for New Zealand, for them, is very historic win. They've been so patient, just like Papa said there. In 4 occasions, they have been there. They've never won a single match at the World Cup tournament. Against New Zealand, it was their moment to shine. They didn't start the game so well. They came from 1-0 down and scored 3 goals to secure that much-needed 3 points that is going to help them to secure a direct ticket to the round of 32. And going to the next match, they're going to face Iran team. For them, they have to just win or draw. If they win, they qualify. If they draw, they also qualify. But if they lose, they'll have to rely on the game between Belgium and New Zealand. But deep down, the players know well, this is our moment. We need to secure that important final victory that will help us proceed all the way until round of 32 and maybe go forward, maybe like Morocco, the fairy tale in the last World Cup tournament. For Egyptians, Mo Salah, for me, I feel like this is his final World Cup tournament. He has to carry the team. He has to be like a leader. He has to bring the players there, star players like Mamouche, Trezeguet, and tell them we need to fight for the badge. This is our moment. We have never registered a very good performance. We have been there in 4 occasions. We need to pull out a surprise performance going forward. And in the final game against Iran, it's going to be a win. It's going to be a win for them.
So our viewers back at home, remember our question of the day was, are you enjoying the FIFA World Cup and what is your best moment? And of course, you can we can send in your thoughts on 0793267279, our WhatsApp number. And on social media, it's TV47 Kenya on X and TV47 Kenya on Facebook and TV47 Digital on X. And I think I'll be reading some of your feedback from Facebook. WhatsApp, let me start with WhatsApp. Mwonge Albert Amoti said, when South Africa lost to Mexico in the support of Africans, that was his best moment of this World Cup so far. And another one on WhatsApp, it's James JN said, shida ni masaa. Sasa utaamka saa 7 kuangalia game na asubuhi uko kazi. And another one on WhatsApp, Kiaria Wanyambura says, Adingra alitunyima furaha. That was his moment. By the way, Adingra ulikasirisha a lot of Africans. Fellow Felinho says, games za usiku wa manane zinafaa ziletwe mchana. We can't do 2 things at a time. Ama inafaa at least Kenya tukisha qualify tunaweza appeal. Akasema Shiri Mwangi says bao zimefungwa zaidi ya 60 na hakuna mfungaji wa Chelsea amefunga. Jeez. Wacha niwachie hapo kwanza. Now, wow. You know, the Premier League is starting, I think, the 21st of August. So these moments, by the tutakumbusha when the Premier League will start. Now, back to our World Cup. Let's talk about the African moments at the World Cup. You know, the teams, we've only 2 teams from Africa actually have won in this World Cup. It's Cote d'Ivoire against Ecuador, 1-0, the goal that was scored by Ahmad. And then we have 1-0 win Ghana over Panama. And then for draws, we've got 4 draws. Morocco against Brazil in Group C, they drew 1-1. And then Cape Verde, Spain, they drew 0-0. DR Congo versus Portugal, and then we have Egypt and Belgium. Now, for the defeats, starting ya kwanza kabisa with South Africa, ilipigwa na Mexico, and then Senegal lost to France, and then Algeria lost to Argentina, Tunisia lost to Sweden. Actually, Tunisia, Bautista so far. Let's talk about this. Now, the big question here remains, could Africa, which African teams unaona wata proceed? And let's talk about these results so far. It's so disappointing that only 2 teams, at least ndio wameshinda, is that now Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana. Arocho, hebu tuongea about these African teams. Adingra, by the way, sijui kama Afrika wataja kusamehea because of what you did, but Cote d'Ivoire lives to fight another day. Arocho?
Well, I'll be controversial with my the statement I'm just about to make. I'm not seeing Ghana going anywhere yet. They won their match. But I've looked at the way this tournament is progressing, and I'm tempted to look at the way the teams qualified, and that at least can give us a sneak preview of what should be expected. I'm looking at the likes of Tunisia. Tunisia is a team that never lost in its qualifiers. They didn't lose any match out of the 8 matches that they played. Another team that, just so that I'm just trying to make my case so that you can understand why I feel that magic is going to happen in this World Cup. Another team that I feel also is giving a disservice is Belgium.
Yes.
Belgium also never lost any match out of the 8 matches they played in the qualifiers. It's a team that scored a total of 22 goals in their qualifiers, conceding only 7. But look at the way they've performed so far. For me, Belgium is a team that needs a lot of work. I feel that there are certain players who their time is up. The likes of Kevin De Bruyne, who was so vocal in the previous World Cup, where he felt that he didn't have the quality of players around him in Qatar. Yeah. Now the question here is, does he still believe that there are no quality players around him and that's why they're not performing? Now, coming back to your question, I think, Katela, it just describes soccer. Soccer is very, it's a game that is not certain unless you've gotten your goals. So this uncertainty within the game is being portrayed by the results we are seeing. Now, for the African teams, the team that I feel might make it to the next round is Senegal. Yes, they lost, but they lost against a formidable side. When Senegal was playing France, France had just lost against another African side that is in Cote d'Ivoire. So I feel that that match was more or less a grudge match. If you saw the way the French national team came for that match, the intensity that match was way up there. So Senegal lost, but I still believe that they're going to make it even to the quarterfinals. And my case study is Saudi Arabia beating Argentina. And I think it's lost on many's mind that Saudi Arabia beat Argentina in the first match in the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. And Argentina went and won the World Cup. So it's a catch-22. You might lose your matches, but still progress. And that's why I feel Senegal still has a very big chance of moving even to the semifinals.
Anna, do you agree with the do you agree with the Rachel?
Definitely.
About the African teams?
Definitely, I agree with him. For Senegal, for starters, they started with a very tough match. I don't think we really expected them to win that match. We expected maybe, worst case scenario, Kikamba, give us a draw. But France have been in the World Cup finals how many years in a row? I mean, they also won the World Cup. And you see, it's the same squad. I mean, they've only probably added the likes of Chaki. Probably we are seeing Dembele coming back as a Ballon d'Or winner. But this team is the same squad that lifted the World Cup. Look at Mbappe coming into that game and scoring a brace. So for Senegal, I think I could tell them that the worst has just passed. And then the problem I'm having in Senegal is that there are a lot of issues in their camp. I don't know if it is verified. I don't know. They're having an issue with their wages. They're staying where. So I don't know if that internal issue will translate on the pitch. I hope it is just a rumor and it is not real, because Senegal is one of the teams. I mean, after winning the AFCON, Senegal should be one of the teams. Senegal and Morocco should be one of the teams that take us all the way. But if there are issues, if they have internal issues, that could play a very big part in their campaign. But other than that, I think some of the teams that I see going directly to qualifying for the round of 32, Cape Verde. I mean, people forget Cape Verde is an African team, but Cape Verde is going to qualify. Look at Egypt securing their first win and drawing. Look at Morocco, a draw against Brazil, a Brazil that went on to beat Haiti 3-0, a Brazil that has players playing in top-tier leagues. So Morocco is also a team that will go all the way. Unfortunately, Tunisia will drop off. The 9-point difference, of course, already imeshawa fanyia. I don't know even if, I don't think, because FIFA has changed the rules to head-to-head, so even if they win, I don't think they'll get the chance to go up. The next team, I think, who am I missing? Congo, DRC Congo. I think they won their first match, they're yet to play the second match. I think they also have a big chance to go somewhere. Even if they qualify in the third position, I think they still have a big chance. Moving on to Cote d'Ivoire, oh my days. Cote d'Ivoire versus Germany, Adingra. Adingra. But I think after the performance I saw against Germany, Cote d'Ivoire dominated that game, 90 minutes. So I think Cote d'Ivoire also favored. They also won their first match. For Ghana, it is bad. Their group is very bad. They have Croatia and England. The good thing, walishinda game yao ya kwanza. So they can find a way. If they can find a way to pick maybe a draw. Croatia is not. I saw the game England versus Croatia, and bado hiyo game ya kwanza wako wamejel vizuri. It's not the Croatia we're used to. It's not the Croatia that got to the semi-final or the final. So I think for me Croatia, wakingangana tu wapate draw. The missing party in the squad, I think that dealt a big blow to the camp. But if they're able to secure a draw against Croatia, then they qualify. Because the good thing about this tournament, kama umeanza na France, utakutana na France huko quarters. Kama ulianza na, look at the teams that started, look at Cape Verde, they started with Spain. Look at Egypt. Egypt again is another team that will qualify. They started with Belgium. Senegal starting with France, the winner. So kama ni kukutana kwa mbele. Wametoa mlima mbele. So they've already, I think for African teams, I will say for South Africa, they secured a draw in their second match. I don't know if they'll be able to. They have to win their last match, but I don't see it. Their performance against Mexico was so substandard. Lyle Foster alikuwa anacheza ni kama ataki kukua kwa hiyo game. So South Africa and Tunisia are some of the teams that I think will drop off. The rest, they still... We brought 10 teams to this tournament. And I definitely think not less than 6 teams will go to the round of 32.
George Casey, do you agree? Which African team do you think itasonga hapo mbele?
For me, first of all, so much hopes are on Morocco and Senegal. And also, not forgetting Cape Verde. They are the dark horses. They have been very good representative for the continent. Going into the round of 32, I fancy to see more than 6 teams from the African continent. And the beauty of this tournament, there are going to be 8 best losers. That is where we're going to see more teams from the continent. They're going to be there. And for Morocco, they just need a win in the final game or a draw. They're in. Same with Cape Verde. They just need 1 point or a win. And definitely for me, I feel Cape Verde, they have what it takes to get even the 3 points against Saudi Arabia. They've defeated Spain, Uruguay. The draw for them is like a win. And coming to a team like, we also have the South African team. They also have so much hopes maybe in the final game. If they win, they're going to be among the best losers and proceed forward. For Tunisia, it is too bad for them. They started the tournament very badly. They sacked the coach. I saw no need of sacking the coach. You brought in the African icon, same results. They were supposed to just stay with the coach, complete the tournament, and maybe see where things are not okay. So for Tunisia, they are out. Algeria, I have so much, I'm 50-50 if they're gonna proceed in the next phase of the tournament. And for Ghana, they're in a very tough group. Despite them winning the first game, there is a team there. Thomas Tuchel is creating something special inside the squad. Also, there is the Croatian. They started very poorly in the first game. In the second game, I believe the players are gonna come out strong and have good performance. So for Ghana, it is too bad for them. They won, but that win is not enough because they're gonna face very tough opponents going forward in the tournament. And I hope to see what we saw in the last World Cup, where Morocco went all the way and surprised many, going up to the semi-final. This tournament, I hope so. I hope we are going to see a team. I don't know it's which team, but I feel there's going to be something special from the African continent.
Well, all right, let's talk about the red cards. Manze, this World Cup, the referees hawachezi na kadi. They are so quick kutoa kadi. Now, in history, let's start off red cards. Back in 2006, 64 matches played, and there are a total of 28 red cards, all right? Now, in 2010, 17 cards, 2014, 10. 2018 and 2022, I can say it was one of the maybe most disciplined because there are only 4 cards. Now, here in 2026, we also had the opener match of Mexico and South Africa, all right? So, So, as at yesterday, tuseme asubuhi, 26 games played, it's 7 cards. Yes, as at now. Yani, we're still in the group stages, and so far, 7 red cards. Zimetoka. Do you think it's the new FIFA rule? It's just, I don't know, what indiscipline of the players? Because during the opener match of Mexico and South Africa, I don't know why South Africans walikuwa wanatumia nguvu sana, walikuwa wanacheza game ya wanatumia nguvu sana, and we also that battle in their second match of South Africa. Arocho, why do you think these cards ni mingi sana? 25 matches with 7 red cards so far.
I think FIFA is also killing the game. Okay. FIFA is killing the game with a lot of rules. For example, there's this rule that if you cover your mouth, they assume that you're trying to hide your communication to whoever you're communicating to. That is my thesis. I think that is too severe for football. I don't know what it serves. Another rule that I feel is also too much is this rule that when there's a substitution, you need to have some seconds before you leave. You have to leave the pitch within certain seconds. And in any case, you don't leave the pitch. Whoever is coming in will have to stay for a minute outside. Yes, they're trying to curb the time-wasting part, but I feel it's too much for players, and more so with the kind of the weather that is currently in the US, for example. When you're playing soccer, even the way you communicate, you don't just communicate the way you communicate. For people who have played, you realize that you even shout a lot when you're on the pitch because of the high temperature and all that. So this number of cards for me is just reflecting the kind of what I mean by FIFA destroying the game. If you ask me, even the VAR should not be part of football because it kills the flair. I don't know, there's a goal that was scored, I don't know in which match, where it took almost a minute before the confirmation. I think it was in the Belgium, there's a match that a goal was scored. It took close to a minute before the referee confirmed. Iran, yes. The Iran match. It's killing the game. Soccer should be a game of even that discussion after the match. Was it a goal or wasn't it a goal? For me, that is what is making football to be interesting. But when football is now determined by technology, then you just make it to be something mechanical. Football is not mechanical, and that's why we are seeing the red cards we are seeing.
Anatwashir, what's your take on all these red cards?
I think one, the format has changed. We've moved from 64 games to 100 and plus. So that, of course, there's going to be more red cards. Number two, FIFA has tightened its stand on rules. For example, I think it was Almiron who got a red card for...
Yeah, actually it's Almiron.
Yeah, so that's okay. Because, I mean, for me, I think that's a good rule. Because if you want to say something, say to their chest. Mbono unajificha.
No, perhaps.
So do you prefer, if you want to say something bad to you, you just shout?
Yeah, just shout.
No.
What?
But what if I have a bad breath?
Yes.
What if I have a bad breath?
Yes.
I'm trying to guess.
Which is making sense. Yeah, it's really making sense.
Or you have a cold.
Okay, I don't want to go to the cold side because that one perhaps is a health issue. I'm just trying to be a cheeky Arocho. I have a bad breath. And I want to communicate something to you. Should I feed you my bad breath? I will try and cover my... Let's just be human.
You can whisper in their ears.
Let's just be human when we are on the pitch. We are making players to be robots on the pitch.
Definitely.
It is just killing the game.
I think also the red cards. This came from a lot of players.
Actually.
No. A lot of players do this because it's media training. Because what we've realized is the cameras focus. So they lip sync, they read your words, then they go to the media and say, Nani was saying this, and this. Yes. So that's where that came from. But after what happened with Vinicius, I think there are better ways of hiding what you want to say. If you want to say something, simgoje mwingi.
No, but if I'm using Swahili, if I want to insult you, and I'm using Swahili.
You still insult you.
And you are from Europe.
Yes.
You know, I'll insult you regardless of if nifunge mdomo manini. So I think FIFA should look at it.
I think it was a test to see if they're going to implement it even in the Champions League, even in the Premier League. But also, aside from that, the red cards, one, the number of teams has gone up. The temperatures. So it's so hot. If you see where the red cards are coming in, uko musho, because people are fighting, ni kugumu, so it's hot. If you look at the red card that came from the Belgium defender, he gave a missed pass. And then, of course, akadecide kukufia team. Akamvuta, akapata red, story kaishia hapo, and so on and so forth. But you realize these cards are being removed in the knockouts. So, kama ulipata red card in the last game of your group stage, it's going to be removed. You go into the knockouts with a clean slate. So the many red cards we see here are going to be scrapped, watanza tena. So I think that's another thing that has really influenced the number of cards in this game, because people are like, ni sawa nipe red card, tuta qualify nirudi 0. So they are like, the implication of this red card is not felt. Because if you're only missing one group game, in fact, you can even not miss a game. Uingie kama it's the last game of the group stage. Unaweza pata red card, uingie next because you start again 0.
Yes.
So I think that has also played a very, very big role in the carelessness of players. They're so careless because the implication of the red card is not being felt.
They're really using nguvu.
Yes.
Wanatumia nguvu mingi.
But also, the number of teams that are in the tournament are more, meaning there's a lot more physicality. Even if you look at some of the teams that got game 1, Mexico versus South Africa, honestly, nyinyi mlikuwa mna expect wapate less red cards and the kind of football they play. So definitely
George, hizi ma red card manze, ni mingi sana. As at now, ni mingi sana.
There are so many red cards. From the first game, we saw signs maybe this World Cup tournament is going to be so different. If we combined the previous World Cup and the one for 2018, both combined, there were very few red cards. But so far from this tournament, the 2026, there have been so many red cards. And the numbers, they're going to surpass because it's just the beginning. We are still in the group stages matches. Who knows, maybe in the remaining matches, there are still gonna be some instance of the players not getting used to the rules, because I feel that there are some players until now they have not gone through the new rules because the rules are so many. Miguel Almiron, a player who just covered the mouth. He never knew maybe this is a mistake, because in games, there are moments like those. We see players, they have conversation, they cover their mouths. There are some players, they have not yet understood, they have not yet get used to the new rules. And this World Cup is going to be so different. We are going to see so many players get affected, and we hope as we go forward, as we proceed, the players will get used to these new rules. They will get to understand the rules of the game, because going forward, they are also going to be used in the leagues. The same rules that are being applied in this tournament, they're going to be brought to the leagues for next season. So for the players, they just need to understand the rules, get used to them, and they will understand this is wrong, this is not right, and they're going to have a very good time in soccer.
Well, this is Monday Blitz, good people, and of course I want to remind you our question of the day, whereby you can send in your thoughts on our social media, TV47 Kenya on Facebook and TV47 Digital on X. Are you enjoying the FIFA World Cup 2026, and what is your best moments? So you can send also on our WhatsApp. You can send even an audio on WhatsApp, a video on WhatsApp on 0793267279. And when we come back, we've got some very interesting fixtures coming in back. But right now, we'll be taking a very short commercial break. And when we come back, we look into the upcoming fixture. Stay tuned.
Sundays at 8:30 p.m.
Good morning.
You have my rent?
Leo jioni kama tutakuwa tumelipa rent, nauza hii simu yako.
Hamna pesa.
I need 3 G's to make my nails today.
Sasa inatuhusu aje?
Can I order now? Do you ship? Can I get blinking ones?
Mimi nilikuwa na trade. Nimewekelea kitele yangu. Kitele yangu na trade. Ikikunyuma. Oh my God. You left me. Nitumie ni line.
Uko nje kuna wifi.
Why? Hi-fi?
Wait, so what do we call this dish again?
I have no idea.
The cucumbers are there specifically for my beauty routine.
Tamulini kero umeka kwa beauty product.
Na ameenda.
Tunafaa tukuwe na logo yetu. Like, si ni brand already.
We won't entertain divas.
No. I'm not dealing with a man child.
Amazing. Nishapenda hii energy.
Sundays at 8:30 p.m. on TV 47. Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
My father used to tell me that our hotel is the home for travelers. I guess I forgot that. Recently, it's been more of a mirror of my own ambition. Ooh, yeah. We might fail. We will probably fail, but not for a lack of trying. So for the last time, and the first time, welcome to Connect In, the best experience in Eastern Central Africa and its environs.
Saturday at 8:30 p.m. on TV 47. Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m.
This is a very serious place.
I see that. Surely. Hey, Nyumba.
This is the place.
Just for a few days.
Rule number 2.
Kwani Google inajua maisha yangu wewe?
That's my seat.
It's a chair. It was hers.
You're new here?
Yes.
You learned the rhythm.
This place is run by structure. Structure.
It is a system, ni venye tu ni system haisikizi.
And what happens if something you haven't chosen enters your day?
I remove it.
That's not always going to be possible here.
Then you are going to have a problem.
Noted.
What are you planning? To escape from a resort?
This is not a resort, my friend. This is a storage.
Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. on TV 47.
Nairobi, where the hustle never sleeps and neither do the scammers.
Link Up, we are talking about something that's affecting all of us. We are talking trust.
We're diving into the campus life.
Stay fresh, stay safe.
Stay linked up.
My father used to tell me that our hotel is the home for travelers. I guess I forgot that. Recently, it's been more of a mirror of my own ambition. Ooh, yeah. We might fail. We will probably fail, but not for a lack of trying. So for the last time, and the first time, welcome to Connect In, the best experience in Eastern Central Africa and its environs.
This is a very serious place.
I see that. Surely. Hey, Nyumba.
This is the place.
Just for a few days.
Rule number 2.
Kwani Google inajua maisha yangu wewe?
That's my seat.
It's a chair. It was hers.
You're new here?
Yes.
You learned the rhythm.
This place is run by structure. Structure.
It is a system, ni venye tu ni system haisikizi.
And what happens if something you haven't chosen enters your day?
I remove it.
That's not always going to be possible here.
Then you are going to have a problem.
Noted.
What are you planning? To escape from a resort?
This is not a resort, my friend. This is...
And welcome back to Monday Blitz. Each and every single Monday morning, we are here bringing you the best of a sports talk. Right here on TV47 with me, Katela Macy, Freda Rocho, Aneto Shira, and George Akondani, George Kayesi. Now, still on the World Cup, let's talk about some of the very interesting upcoming fixtures that are there. One of the teams will really face a very hard team. Ghana will be facing England, and that will be one of the most interesting matches. And then we have Portugal versus Uzbekistan, and then Argentina will face Austria. France will face Iraq. And then Jordan versus Algeria. Let's talk about this team. Tuanze kwanza na England versus Ghana. Thomas Tuchel na kikosi yake, we've seen how the boys are coming in. Arocho, easy fixtures. Let's talk about France, Iraq, Jordan, Algeria, Portugal, Uzbekistan, England, Ghana, and Argentina, and Austria.
Well, I feel, and that's why I said initially that Ghana will not make it. I'd foreseen this fixture where they're playing England. Well, England is not that strong. I feel that their weak link is their defense. I didn't like the way Stones played in that defense in the opening match. Yes, they won, but they conceded 2 easy goals. And as they progress, in any case, they still maintain that central defense. I feel that Guy should come in to partner with Stones in that defense. And of course, I expect better results. The main strength of the English national team is their bench. They have a very superb bench. Imagine they had the likes of Bukayo Saka not starting, Rashford coming in and scoring a goal. So I feel they have a strong bench power, and that will be their strength going through the tournament. And once again, I'm going to say it, they need to tighten that defense more. So that central part, the communication, the 2 goals they conceded were totally uncalled for. So analyzing the match, I feel Ghana will lose. And that this will give a lot of confidence to the English side. You know, the English media, the way they normally are positive with their team when the team does well, and of course when the team doesn't do well, they bash them. So I'm seeing them celebrating in the next week or so, because they will play, and then of course there'll be some few days lull before we start the second edition. So basically, Ghana is going to be eliminated in this tournament, with all due respect to my brothers from Ghana, but their display in the opening match for me was not good. They grabbed a late goal, which for me indicated a lot of inefficiency in that team. I said it earlier that I might attract a lot of bashing, but it comes with the territory. Arocho is never afraid of controversies. Ghana is going to be eliminated, and forgive me if I'm telling you the truth.
And what's your take on Argentina versus Austria?
Well, Argentina is also another team that came off the blocks not the way I expected. I expected a more fluid side. I expected, yes, they picked a win. Yes, Messi got his hat-trick. But the things I didn't see in that team, I still want to see them progress. They are going to win in their upcoming match, but I'd like to see the way they're going to progress in the second round and subsequently as they move towards the quarterfinals and ultimately the finals. So nothing much to say within that team. They have it's a team made of galaxy of stars. They're still playing. Their game is still revolving around Lionel Messi, which they did so well in the opening match. But I believe that more resistance is coming as they progress. And
let's talk about these upcoming fixtures. Which match will you watch? Tuanzia hapo. Is it France versus Iraq and Portugal versus Uzbekistan and England versus Ghana? Ghana ni deadly.
England versus Ghana is a very good game. I think probably where Tuchel is messing, as Arucho said, is the defense. Pairing Ezri Konsa to John Stones is insane. John Stones for Man City has started less than 10 games. So I don't know alitafutia much fitness wapi ama I believe in what. For McGahey as well, it's still a very, for me, McGahey is still testy. In big games, McGahey is not the best. For me, he's not the best player. I've seen it in the Champions League. I've seen it in games like in the Premier League when it mattered. So for me, McGahey, for big stages, bado hajafika hiyo point yenye, neza mtrust aanze. And I applaud Tuchel for realizing that. But also, I know with time, ataingia kwa game because the kind of players he selected are not the players we expected. I mean, bringing Chalobah over the likes of Alexander-Arnold, over the likes of, there's a very good defender, Lewis Hall. So I think for me, for Tuchel, he just has to prove to us because we from commentary perspective, don't understand why he would go in that direction. For me, definitely, for him to have a defense line of Ezri Konsa, Trevor Chalobah from Chelsea, Chelsea is one of the teams that has conceded the most goals last season. So bringing Trevor Chalobah...
and in fact, look at the fact that when he brings in Chalobah for an injured fullback, and Chalobah, if you ask me, does so well in the central defense. If in any case he wanted a central defender, why couldn't he pick Maguire? I feel Maguire... Yes,
definitely. I agree with you on that.
Maguire was a very good replacement. If in any case we're looking at a central defender and is someone who can really bring a lot of stability.
Yes, and can also score goals.
Yes, so I also bash him. Yes. Chalobah, or was he trying to... Okay, I don't want to mention it.
I also don't understand when the selection of Thomas Tuchel shocked everybody. I mean, there's so many players that are missing from that squad. Look at the likes of Trent. But again, I mean, ni Tuchel akona team CCC, so I think he knows what he wants from the team. So for that English team, the biggest drawback will be their defense because Chalobah has not been, in my case, one of the best defenders. If you look at McGahey, yes, they won a couple of silverware, but in the big games, in the games that required us to win in the title race, he didn't perform. In the Champions League against Real Madrid, he fumbled all over the place. So pairing Ezri Konsa to a Stones who's not played more than 10 games, to a Trevor Chalobah who's considered one of the most number of goals in the season, to McGahey as well who has fumbled in the big games. I don't know, maybe tumone tu kombele. So for me, if Ghana can capitalize on their defensive their lack of a good defense, I think they can get a goal. But for them to win, I mean, the attack is phenomenal. Look at Jude Bellingham. Look at Saka coming back into form. Look at Harry Kane in the Golden Boot race. So in uko mbele wako top form.
Not mentioning Rashford.
Na pia Rashford.
So, I mean, he's back at home.
Yes, definitely in attack, I commend them. But in a group where it's England, Croatia, and Ghana, they need a draw. If they can capitalize, I know they'll be missing Partey, which is, I think, one of the biggest blows to the squad. But if they can capitalize on the weaknesses in England's defense and go for the neck and get a draw, I think they can get somewhere. For Argentina, as of now, wamesha qualify. Look at the teams. Wakona sijui nani? Austria. Is it Austria?
Austria, yeah. Actually, they're facing Austria.
Austria and is it Jordan? And I think Jordan. If their group is very wishy-washy. So for them, after the Algeria win, and there's something people don't realize. Portugal is built in a team full of actual stars, Champions League winners, Champions League. But if you look at Argentina, it is built around Messi. If you look at Argentina, Messi anapewa free roll. So every time, if you look at the passes that were coming to Messi, they were coming from the defense line. Messi was picking the ball in the midfield, anaenda an assist, anaenda anafunga. If you look at the goals he scored, hazikuwa rahisi. So for Messi, scoring a hat-trick in the opening match against what was the team that was your hardest team, because Algeria in that team was meant to be one of the hardest teams in the group. So I think for Argentina, Maze, I don't see what your game, watashinda. For France,
France are facing Iraq.
I think this would be a good opportunity for Deschamps to start to see some of the quality in his bench. I mean, kila mtu anaona, mnatoa Dembele chake na warm, mnatoa Due Bakola na warm. So probably I think this is a game that Deschamps would experiment with the team just a little bit. I mean, why not give Dembele the center striker role? Why not play Mbappe for the first half, then rest him? Why not try Desiree Doué on the wing, fully on the wing? Why not try Chucky on the wing as well? Why not try Chucky on that 10 role? So I think for this France game to be a very good experimental game. I'm not saying Iraq is an easy opponent, but if you're looking at the French squad, they have so much talent. So this would be an opportunity for Deschamps to move around some pieces and see how it works.
Georgie,
the last one?
Another game. We have France, Jordan and Algeria. That's an...
Algeria should win in this game. I think, I don't know why people are saying like Algeria are not going too far. But Algeria...
Algeria currently are number last in their group,
yes,
Group J.
Yes, because Jordan and Austria drew. So if they're able to beat Jordan and beat Austria, they finish that group in number 2.
Do you think Algeria can beat Austria?
I think they can secure a draw. Yes. But if Austria drew Jordan, which football are they playing? Ni Jordan, sindio? Wanacheza ball gani? So definitely Algeria should.
Remember in Group J, Argentina are currently number 1 and Austria number 2. All right? Wamedraw points zao. And then Jordan 0, Algeria.
Oh, so they Austria beat Jordan.
Yes.
Okay. There's a chance.
There's a chance, all right?
There's a chance. There's a chance.
George?
Yeah. For me, first of all, they're going to be so very good games. First of all, let me begin with the Portugal team. That team is like the golden generation. Roberto Martinez, he was at Belgium. He had a very good squad. Now he's at Portugal, a very good squad, star players. And in the first fixture, from what we saw, from the kind of game they played, they really need to wake up. In this game, they're going to face a weaker opponent. They need to wake up because the world expects a lot from them. The world expects Bruno Fernandes to show his quality, Cristiano Ronaldo, Bernardo Silva. There are so many quality players there. There is Vitinha, there is Neves. Portugal have to wake up because we feel this is the moment. Just like Spain had their moment once and they won the World Cup. Then came Argentina, had their moment. They won the World Cup. We also saw the France team. They had very quality players, the likes of Giroud, Mbappe. They had their moment and they won the World Cup. For Portugal, the World Cup is for them to lose. They are the ones to decide, are we going to wake up or we are still going to sleep? And in the next game, Argentina, they're going to defend the World Cup in a very special way, just like they started their game so well. Lionel Messi hat-trick. In this game, again, is also team that the team I can say is a very weak opponent. They are going to register a very star performance, just like the way they started the tournament. Then there is the England versus Ghana game. Ghana, I don't give them space to even get a draw in that match. Despite them starting well, Panama is a very weak team. They're going to face a team that is very serious about winning. There is a coach there who knows how to win tournaments, Thomas Tuchel. And the squad does remind me of the 202 squad and the 206. In 202, we had players like Rio Ferdinand, a young Steven Gerrard was there. Then came the 206 squad. We had players like Wayne Rooney, John Terry, Frank Lampard. That is what we are also seeing now. There are very star players there. There's Bellingham, Declan Rice, a very good player. There is Harry Kane. So for England, they are going to shine. They're going to shine. I don't know how many goals, but I feel Ghana is a weak opponent for England.
Before you continue, I would like to release Arocho to go to Radio 47 for the Gumzo La Sport. And then we can continue from there. He'll be back in a few. Papa Fred Arocho cha tukuachilie kidogo.
Yes.
Uende ukawa baby hipo akawapatie vidonge kidogo. Wana Radio 47. George Case, I think you can continue. Let's talk about France and Iraq. Your game here, England versus Ghana. I don't know why I'm thinking that what was surprised. But again, let's wait and see. Let's talk about France and Iraq.
France versus Iraq is going to have a very simple game for France. Didier Deschamps is a coach who knows how to read the game, just like the way he read the Senegal match. In the first half, they didn't start so well. We felt like this is going to be a game where France maybe are going to lose, but coming to the second half, Deschamps really read the game so well. Second half they came, they showed their quality, they showed the world we are maybe coming back to maybe win the World Cup. In the last final, they lost after winning. This time they also have some instance maybe with the players they have. They are maybe going to surprise us again. For France, it's going to be very easy for them. I feel they are going to score so many goals, and I feel like Mbappe, just like what he did in the first game, is what we're also going to witness in the game against the Iraq team. Michael Olise there, Osman Dembele. I don't see a team like Iraq stopping the France squad. That is a very top team. And the final game is which one?
In Group K, whereby Portugal will be playing Uzbekistan. Remember, Portugal and Uzbekistan zimefuatana. Portugal number 3, Uzbekistan hawajashinda any game, same to Portugal. So it's number 3 versus number 4.
Portugal are going to win. It's going to be a very good day in office for Portugal. They're going to wake up. They're going to wake up. And
in Group J, of which it's Argentina, will be facing Austria.
Argentina, Austria, Lionel Messi is going to lead the team in defending the World Cup. He's going to lead the entire squad. So for Argentina, just like they registered a very good performance in their first fixture, this second fixture is going to be a very easy day in office for them. They're going to win and they're going to proceed. For Algeria, Jordan is a team I feel is not going to stop the Algerian squad. If they come back to the game with that mentality, we lost in our first fixture. This is our moment to maybe to register a good performance and maybe get a chance to proceed among the best losers. So for Algeria, I feel they will have to win. They have players who can lead the squad in getting a good performance against Jordan, and they know what they have to do. They have to win.
They know they have to win. Well, but these upcoming fixtures, I think the match that will be so much interesting is Argentina, Austria, and England versus Ghana, of which those who placed Ghana in that group, walikuwa wanauagana. Because how can you put England, Ghana, Panama, and Croatia? Actually, it's England and Croatia. Umeka Ghana. Leave Panama. But I don't know why now.
Sorry, ni wakimaliza hizo game watapatana nao tena. That's what matters.
So the best thing is for Shinde.
Draw you see, they've already gotten their first win. If they draw one of those matches, they're in. They're in through best loser. The only problem again with getting in through that place team, you don't know. You can get the winner. You can get France. You have to finish number 2 to get a good group, because if you finish in that third best team, unaweza go anywhere. Unaweza rudishwa England. So definitely, I think they need to, if they can finish second, because Croatia have lost their first match, they're definitely going to win against Panama. If Croatia can force a draw against, if Ghana can force a draw against Croatia and a draw against England, that's 5 points. Wamesha skuma Croatia number 3. So that's the strategy.
Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. But just know that some teams there are not there to play. Now, I think this is going to be one of the best seasons for football lovers. After the World Cup, yani watu wapumui sana. After the World Cup, the English Premier League itakuwa inakam. It'll be starting on the 21st of August, whereby the 21st, that Friday, it'll be a furahi day, as we Kenyans say. Arsenal will be facing Coventry City. Yani mwatoka World Cup pressure, team yako imeshinda, umefurahia. Football lovers, this is a season for you. In a bamba, let's say in a bamba kabisa. Now, and then on this, that's match week 1, and then on the Saturday 22nd, Hull City will be facing Manchester United. Everton will be facing Crystal Palace. Ipswich Town versus Sunderland. Nottingham Forest versus Leeds United. Brentford versus Tottenham Hotspur. How are Tottenham Hotspur? I say waliponea sana. So I don't know if they'll start the league wakianza na mabao mapema. And then come on Sunday 23rd August, Brighton will be facing Aston Villa. Manchester City versus FC Bournemouth. Newcastle versus Liverpool. And then on Monday, it'll be a weekend full of action. Fulham versus Chelsea, all right? From the August 21st to Monday. Hapo kuna it's football. Anaet tuanzie na hii game inaanza. Arsenal Coventry. Ni game rahisi by the way. Ni game rahisi sana. Ni game it's a very easy match for Arsenal. Wangeanzia hata watu
wangeanzishia na derby kama last season.
Last
season unajua alianzisha Arsenal Manchester United mazee. But anyway, it's understood, it's understandable. It's a very good fixture. It will be Lampard versus Arteta. A very Coventry is hungry. Also, you realize they don't have so many teams in the World Cup, which will play to a disadvantage for Arsenal because some of their players watakuwa wamerest vizuri.
Yeah.
But realistically for me, Arsenal versus Coventry is just ni ya kutuambia tu high.
Ni ya kufungua
back. Yes, same thing with Manchester City versus Hull City, Manchester United. Hiyo tu ni another high. Msha relax already.
You know there's a time when Manchester United ilikuwa mid-term. So this time
Chelsea wako prolonged netwaje wanacheza hadi Monday. Yani ndio Premier League is so brutal. Hadi wanawaambia unajua nyinyi hata mnanga game. Nyinyi others such as
Arocha calls it number 10, Maringo, Madza kuingia Maringo United. You know, they're playing Fulham, of which it's a derby.
Yeah. It's playing on Monday is just disrespectful. They're just like we've become the new Manchester United. Because Chelsea are not playing any European football next season. So again, they've lost the likes of Cucurella. They've gone to Madrid. Hey, next season itakuwa moto. Also important to note that there's only going to be about 5 managers who are going to be, how will I say it? There are going to be 5 managers who have been with their teams.
The retained managers.
Retained managers. If you look at the end, ni kama kumekuwa na manager overhaul. Pep Guardiola has left. Iraola moved from Bournemouth to Liverpool. So Ancelotti is out. Look at the likes of the new Tottenham manager. I keep his name, De Zerbi. He's been with the team, less than 6 weeks? Look at, sisi tuko na Maresca.
I think it'll be one of the most interesting leagues.
It is going to be either one of the most interesting or one of the most boring. Because what will happen is, if Arsenal are able to dominate from game 1, I mean, they have a manager who's been there 6 years. How many? 7.
This is his 7th.
So this is his 7th. So he can start his back-to-back Premier Leagues. Like, this is his campaign. So for Arsenal, if they're not able to keep the Premier League back-to-back, I don't understand. There's a manager as well who will be here for a longer time, Unai Emery. Will be another who should be contending for top 3. Look at Carrick, he came mid-season. So obviously he's being considered as a newer manager. So look at the 3 teams that have been promoted in the likes of Ipswich, Coventry and Hull City. And of course, kila mtu anajuanga, other than Sunderland, who in their first season were able to qualify for Europe, muta struggle. It's going to be, if they're not able to do good signings, they're going to really struggle. So out of all the teams that I've mentioned, there are like 5 to 6 teams that will retain their managers. And of those 5 to 6 teams, none of them is top 5 teams. Chelsea with Xabi Alonso. So every the English top 6, Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool. Nani nimemiss? Hakuna mtu nimemiss ndio. All of them will be having new managers. So Arteta should just be like, guys, this is my season.
Itakuwa ni in Swahili we say ni nyoso for Arteta because a new manager, new team, you have to know your team, you have to know your play individually. Ni kazi. And then so for Arteta it will be very smooth, and at least for Michael Carrick, I think the only person who will be giving Arteta a run is Michael Carrick.
Yes, because amekuwa na team. And then of course pia hakutakuwa na shida na integration.
Yeah, sure.
But for Man City, there are so many players who are rumored to leave. For Chelsea, they've lost so many players. For Liverpool, it's gonna be this season either itabamba sana ama itabo. Itakuwa kama ile season Ancelotti alibeba mapema. Tuliacha kuongelea ball nini December.
George Casey, do you agree about this league that season 2026-27?
For next season, it's going to be a very funny season because we are going to have very young managers below 50 years. Look at Xabi Alonso, Mikel Arteta, Enzo Maresca, Carrick, De Zerbi. It's going to be a very interesting season, and the young managers are going to prove themselves. They're going to show we are going to take over this league maybe for the next 5 years, because for next season there is not going to be a very old manager, the likes of Jurgen Klopp, the likes of Pep Guardiola. So for me, for next season, I feel it's going to be a very interesting season. The young managers will want to prove a point. And coming to the teams, I'll also want to see how a team like Arsenal, Manchester City, how they are going to perform, because at the World Cup, they're the only teams that have so many players in the first squad. For Arsenal, they have like over 10 players, so as starters.
Una support team gani?
By the way,
atujui. You need to know early.
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Nyinyi ndio mjafunga kwa World Cup. Yo, that's sad.
The players. How are you feeling by the way?
Ndio hapo kuna Rashford, nani mwingine? Kuna nani pia?
Kunya.
Matias Kunya. They're really shining on us.
But don't worry, we understand you guys. We understand.
For my team Chelsea for next season, I feel it's like ile kwanza upya, because the last season we are very poor. New managers, and there is not that flow kwa ile squad. So for next season is maybe time for Xavi Alonso to restart again, to bring that belief inside the Chelsea squad. Because a team like Chelsea, them missing a European tournament, that is a very big loss. We are used to teams like Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, representing the teams, the Premier League pale kwa the European tournaments. For next season, Chelsea, they'll have to maybe kukubali matokeo and fight for the league, because they are going to play only one tournament, that is the Premier League. They have so much time to maybe create something special, because they will not be traveling here and there. They will still be at England, and so if they do their maths right, calculations right, they will have a good season.
Now when you talk about you okay, you're saying that Chelsea might and can win the league.
They can win the league.
That statement, are you sure Chelsea can win the league?
They can win the league.
They can, or they
Oh, they will try.
Say they will try. To a Chelsea.
Say they will try to win the league. It's a better wording.
To a Chelsea.
You can win the league, because
you really trust Xabi Alonso.
The last time we finished position 10, we came back and did something special. Maybe for next season.
Chelsea.
Xabi Alonso.
How are you feeling by the way ni fan wa Chelsea? On a national TV.
Ni vile nyinyi mlikuwa mna feel mkisema nyinyi watu wa Man U.
Check it. I was asking to judge by the
Jali next season inaweza kuwa sisi Man City. We understand.
But there are viewers back at home. Remember, our question of the day was, are you enjoying the FIFA World Cup 2026, and what is your best moments? And I'll be reading some of your thoughts. I think from Facebook and also on WhatsApp. This one is from WhatsApp. Frankie Matara says, best moment taking breakfast as you watch the World Cup. Actually, these games that come from 4 a.m. Unaamka tu asubuhi na chai na ngwashe. Gaucho K. Gavin says, I'm not enjoying at all. Time is not favorable. Oh, Gaucho Aki. So sorry, Gaucho. Highlights Zikon. That's why we're having World Cup Extra for you. Mike Juma says, Tunisia sacking their manager after losing their first match. In their second game, they lost heavily and are on their way back to Tunis. Now, the question was, will they also sack the coach that alikuja kushikilia after their second loss? Actually, do you think, give me another feedback and then we'll talk about Tunisia sacking their coach. Here it is, Stephen Kithai, 0-0 full time between Ecuador and Curacao. That was his best moment. And Kiprono Kimutai says, Vozinha the hero. Actually, I would love to be in Vozinha's shoes right now. From 50,000 followers to 15-point-something million. Martin says, the worst World Cup ever, the worst World Cup I've ever witnessed. It's so boring. What? And I can see Onesmus Cheritich says, Masaa ndio mbaya wa Kenya. That is the last one. Now let's talk about, before we move on to Harambee Starlets, CECAFA outing. Now, let's talk about Tunisia and sacking their coach. I remember, George, you talked about this, and Annette, what's your take? What do you think of Tunisia sacking their coach after their first loss?
Cartoons. How do you sack your coach and then you bring a coach who does even worse than the first coach?
Doesn't know the players.
I think the one thing people need to realize is sack the coach, fine. Let the assistant take over. There is no way you sack your coach and then bring another coach. Probably, and the worst part about this whole thing, that coach that was brought, he probably has never. He doesn't know where this team, I mean, he doesn't understand why the other coach selected these players. Because again, you're not looking at, it's like Argentina, where you're looking at a player and you're like, nili select you, Jonacheza League, nili select. No. This coach selected the players he wanted to perform in a certain way. It's like if you look at Hugo Bruce from South Africa, the players he selected, if South Africa make a mistake and sack Hugo Bruce, the coach that will come will be totally confused because they'll be like, Mono Liachanani, why did you pick this guy? What you see, the thinking behind selection, the thinking behind starting lineups. I mean, people have had 6-7 months to prepare for the World Cup. This guy had 1 week in camp with the players. How? Angesak huyo coach wampea assistant coach kama coach because I think they should be embarrassed because mmoja aliwapea 5-1 mwingine akawapea 4-0, si ndio? Why?
Cartoons, yeah?
What? Because it's not real, guys. Let's be serious as African countries because we're becoming laughing stocks. If you sack a coach, let the technical director take over or the assistant coach. I mean, Tunisia, of course, right now, because of head-to-head, they could be on the way out. In fact,
I think wanaenda.
So, why not let that coach that you selected aende tu na team amalize msaka akipanda hivi ndege unamwambia usirudi. Usikam. It's over.
What's your take, George?
For Tunisia, sacking a coach in a tournament doesn't make sense because the coach doesn't have time to recover.
After their first game.
Yeah. Doesn't have time to recover. For league, it's okay. For league, you'll have so many games to recover. But in a tournament like the World Cup tournament, it doesn't make sense. If I were the Tunisia Federation, ningesema tu like, let the coach stay. Maybe tukimaliza the tournament, we maybe make some big decision. But in the period of tournament, it is so disrespectful and it speaks a lot. Speaks a lot about the Tunisian football, the Tunisian Federation. They didn't do the right thing. And funny thing, they brought in a coach who is an African icon, Have Renard. We've seen what he has done in African football. If I were coach Renard, singekubali like, my CV is so good, it's no need for me to come in a team that has lost 5-0. That was not a good decision, and I've seen the results. You've sacked in the coach, you brought in a new coach, African icon. Maybe you are expecting something big, but in a World Cup tournament, there is no time to rest. In a league, it's okay, but in a tournament, there are very few games. You don't have so much time to recover. You bring in a new coach who doesn't understand the squad, doesn't know the players.
Hajacheza friendlies.
Yeah.
Amechagua wachezaji based on training. 1 week, hata si 1 week. Could have been 3 days. Because they have to fly from their base. They have to come to camp. They have to rest. They have rest days. So basically, alikuwa na hiyo team siku mbili.
It's so sad, eh? Yeah. Now let's talk about this man, the hero, Vozinha. The saves, actually he had 7 saves against Spain and Cape Verde, and then now his mother is there, and then we couldn't keep a clean sheet. Annette, this guy, 40 years of age, and then professionally alianza kucheza ball 25 years. Now after 15 years, manze ndio tutasema ni nyota imeng'aa at 40. What's your take on?
For Vozinha, I want to say this. Mtu asiwe kuharakisha in life. Time yako ikikam, itakam.
They say life starts at 40.
Life starts at 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Don't be afraid to start again. Start. But I think this has been a tournament for goalkeepers. Look at the first match. South Africa versus Mexico. South Africa wangechapota 50. Like the goalkeeper, I think it's called Williams.
Williams.
Yes, Williams. very good saves. Curaçao versus Ecuador, 15 saves. 15. Yani the whole match alikuwa anadaka tu ball. Look at Iran versus Belgium, man of the match. He had a World Cup. He had a very good performance. Alicheza poa. So this has been a tournament for it has been a tournament for goalkeepers. Very good. There's been a very good display from the goalkeepers. Bosnia, 15 million. Do you know how long it would take to build a profile with 15 million?
Actually, from 50,000 in an hour, it was 2 point something.
Same thing has happened to the Curaçao. I think they got 2 million, if I'm not wrong. So, in it on a goalkeeper, we are just Niamagoli. And that is actually what I've realized. The difference between Algeria versus Argentina, I had a fan say that the Algerian keeper is Zidane's son. So they're saying, apana huyu ni fan wa Messi, aliachilia tu zote tatu zikaingia. But the difference in this tournament, and you will see it as we progress, the teams that will make out of this tournament as small teams is because they have goalkeepers wenye wanajituma. Look at Thibaut Courtois jana. Hey, Belgium would have been speaking a different language if not for the offside and Thibaut Courtois. So this tournament has been for keepers. Inafaa kuitwa Goalkeepers Cup.
Goalkeepers Cup.
Yes.
Now, Arocho is back. Karibu sana. Welcome back, Arocho. And we're talking about the English Premier League, which will start on the 21st of August. And the opener match is Arsenal versus Coventry City, which we say that's to Arsenal. It will be a very busy weekend from Friday till Monday. And the number 10 are playing on Monday, Chelsea, Fulham versus Chelsea. Arocho, let's talk about these match week 1 fixtures. Ipswich will be facing Sunderland, Hull City will be facing Manchester United, Everton versus Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest versus Leeds United. And then on Sunday we have Brighton versus Aston Villa, Manchester City will be facing FC Bournemouth, and then Newcastle versus Liverpool. Having in mind that some of the teams here have new managers, what is your take on the fixtures?
Well, if you've noticed in the last decade, the English Premier League normally starts the way it ended, in the sense that the teams that performed well as we were ending the season will register very good results in their first 3 matches. Then, of course, the balance will start coming in. For the likes of Arsenal, I think it will just be obvious. They will pick from wherever they left. But in very few instances, you will see the top 4 teams dropping points in the opening 3 matches. So for the likes of Arsenal, for the likes of Manchester United, who did so well towards the end of the season, it might be a walk in the park. But then after some time is when you see that fading off. It's good that for me, I'm looking for a transition from the World Cup to the English Premier League. I think there'll be about 2 weeks of a lull from the 19th of July to the mid-August, where we'll start the English Premier League. But I feel for the players. There are certain players who might not even have a rest. If in any case, for example, a team like England proceeds to the quarterfinals or even into the finals, then you will have a player who played in the league, then moved to the Champions League finals. That is most of the Arsenal players. Then you have the World Cup for someone like Declan Rice, 3 weeks of high-octane football. Then you move back. That's why you see most of these players don't last for long. It's something that FIFA also needs to look into, because, well, players cannot really say much. But I like what once Arsene Wenger said, that we are not developing players, we're just developing robots. Because a robot is the only, if you want to call it a gadget, that can operate all through. Because it feeds on something else other than food. But for a player, it's too much. Playing the World Cup is like playing 2 matches in one, two English Premier League matches in one, and then the Champions League finals, and then back into the league. You'll see players fading off, and that's why I think there's this player from called Palmer. I think Palmer is suffering is one of the players who is suffering from such fatigue. Because you see the way he played, he picked his season through Chelsea, he got an injury. And you know, when you get an injury at times, it takes toll on you because you're not that, you don't run a lot, and then perhaps you can even develop some weight, and then trying to bring that weight down, get back into match fitness. So it's a catch-22 for me. For the guys who are doing the marketing or the commercial part of the game, perfect, making your millions or billions. But for the players who are the real subject in this game, it's too much.
Well, let's come back home to Junior Starlets, whereby they defeated Sudan 16-0, where the match was abandoned on the 60th minute, and they beat Somalia before Uganda beat them 3-0. Let's talk about these young girls' performances, Arocho, and the rule that made them become number 2 in their table, whereby they were just out of the 3-0. Tanzania net, or at least Arocho avute unyunyu.
I think it's unfortunate that after the match was abandoned, they scrapped off the performance of the girls, because it goes into statistics. Some of those players, like Brenda Ward, had 8 goals. She was Brenda Cheng, sorry. She was supposed to be in the FIFA group stage team of the group stage. She wasn't given because they scrapped it off to a 3-0. So for me, that was a bit of a ridiculous occurrence. I feel like, yes, okay, waka decide wako injured, waka decide sasa, oh, they can't continue because they have 6 players. I'd like to hear what Arocho would love to say about that.
I disagree.
Before Arocho comes in,
I disagree. I disagree.
Umeshasema George, and then we'll give Arocho. Ndiye ameingia, ameongea. George, what's your take on that? The 13 goals kutolewa jo, watu wanabaki na 3-0.
For the match to be scrapped off, that is controversial because sijawasikia like such kind of a decision that you play the game, then you are being told your game is going to be scrapped off, you are going to be denied the good performance you showed, and that has affected the girls. We saw the way they perform in the next game. It really brought some significant challenge to the entire squad, and for me, I feel like we were denied a chance maybe to go all the way to the final, because if we finished top of the group, we could have been in the final. So us being brought down to the second position, we had to face Tanzania. That was we had to face Uganda. That was a big challenge for us, and we do hope next time we shouldn't see such kind of a decision in a key tournament, in a key match.
Papa Fred Arocho, you are disagreeing with Annette.
Well, the law is the law.
Yeah.
You know, like any other game, football has its way to govern it. That match was abandoned. You know, football has terminologies. A match which is abandoned, a match which was rained off, if you may use that word. When a match is abandoned because of reasons which are not made by the team that was leading, or in any way, that match is null and void. It's null and void because it didn't end. And that's why I have a problem when they talked about when Gor Mahia played Nairobi United and the game didn't end, and then somebody wakes up and say that was a draw. For me, that is ridiculous. It has never happened anywhere. When a match is abandoned, there must be consequences. Who caused the abandonment? Now, we'll start with the simple rule of football that you cannot play if you're below 7 players. Once you have 7 players, you can play against 11. But if in any case it goes below 7, then that match cannot proceed. So when that match doesn't proceed, it's assumed that the team that could not field the 7 players caused that abandonment. Now, once it's abandoned, anybody else who scored, inakuwa 0. And then they give you the administrative goals, that is 2 or 3, it depends on the tournament. For CECAFA, I think it's 3 for an abandoned match of that nature. So it's just the law. Unfortunately, the law this time around was not on our side. I appreciate what she's saying about the players who had scored goals and scoring an international goal. It really leaves a mark. But if you scored that goal, I still believe you scored it. We have to go by the rule book. CECAFA has a rule book.
Don't you think that the Sudanese team took advantage of that rule?
Well, the Sudanese, I think this was their first. This is their debut in this tournament. I think they just ran out of steam.
But see, that's why I
think
they took advantage.
You know why I'm saying they cannot take advantage? Because it didn't help them in any way.
Yeah, sure.
If they took advantage and qualified, then you can look at it from that angle. But this is a decision that, one, I'm sure they were sanctioned. There must have been fines that came their way for not proceeding to the end of the match. And the way I saw the ladies, they were worn out. Walikuwa wamechoka.
Now, before we close, I think we have only 3 minutes left. Let's talk about WAFCON that is starting soon. And Kenya is in the death group, actually. Harambee Starlets work on a task.
Morocco,
they have
Senegal.
a task ahead. Now, on the 26th of July, they'll be facing Morocco. And then on the 30th, they'll be facing Senegal. And then on the 3rd August, they are facing Algeria.
Did they confirm a venue?
It's
in Morocco.
Okay. It's in Morocco. It's Arocho, briefly.
Okay, I'll let the lady to sum it up. I think our preparation is one thing. Initially, we were supposed to go to Europe for our training. I don't know what happened of it. We had already earmarked some venue where we are going to train. I've not heard about that. I think you can give us more on that.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with that part of the preparation where we were to go for a camping in Europe. I'm not seeing us doing well. We've been having our issues. I don't know why there are certain players who still cannot play for that team, but I leave it to the coach. But if in any case that team is going to be humiliated, then Beldin, be ready to hear it from me.
George Kaisi and then to Kwelizena Annette.
For the Starlets, they're going to have a mountain to climb because the kind of opponents we are going to face, the FIFA rankings favors them, the quality they have, the Moroccans who are the hosts, they're very good. The Senegalese team, they are very physical, they are tactically disciplined, and come to the final team. They are so good in the continental tournaments, the big stages. They have been there, and so for a team like Kenya, when you look at our preparations, the provincial squad, the final squad, there are a bit of some issues, and we are going to see how they are going to perform. Personally, I just hope they'll go there with their heads high. I hope Coach Beldin is going to bring the team together, prepare them mentally, psychologically, because it's going to be a very tough assignment and a very big assignment for the entire squad.
I think just to finish up, we qualified for AFCON on merit, so that's something we need to congratulate ourselves on. We are unfortunately in group of death, but one of the performances that probably I am proud of is the fact that we drew Zambia in the 4 nations. Zambia is ranked 60-something. We are ranked 100+. So for us, that is coming to this tournament, that is something that should give us a bit of confidence. And of course, yes, we went on to beat Lesotho 6+ goals. So for confidence, I think the girls are confident. But that group is so, it's hard. You know, we have Algeria, we have Morocco, and we have Senegal. It's a big mountain to climb. But the fact that we got there after not being there for 9, 10 years, I think for the girls, we leave Beldin to take charge.
No, tell us something about you. What happened?
For France, it was a good thing we didn't go because we would have traveled and the WAFCON would have been postponed. So I want to see if probably that is still in the works. It worked to our advantage because we know so many African women.
Are we still going?
Yes, sir.
And also remember that this team, Australia pay kuwapiga sana during the FIFA
exactly. Thank
series.
you.
But so we wish Harambee Starlets.
We
wish Harambee Starlets all the best.
Surely.
And I'm just being optimistic.
Yani, we are consoling ourselves.
No, I'm just being optimistic that they might. They might. They can hold them down.
Say it like this, they're going to have confidence.
Yes, confidence. But lacking some of the players, I don't know why. Corazon.
I'm gagged.
That Corazon.
I'm gagged.
But anyway, no, Arocho, hold it.
I'm
hold it there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll discuss that on mine. Thank you so much, George. Thank you so much, Arocho and Annette. And to all our viewers back at home, thank you so much. All those who sent in their thoughts, thank you so much. This is Monday Blitz. Each and every single Monday, we'll be here. All right, see you next Monday, same time. Actually, today at 4 p.m. World Cup Extra. I am Katela Macy, and good morning.